In the dense forests of Tanzania, a young chimpanzee watches intently as her mother demonstrates how to crack open a stubborn nut and brings the tool down with calculated force. This seemingly simple act represents one of the most fascinating aspects of chimpanzee intelligence, their ability to learn through observation and pass knowledge down through generations. Chimpanzees share approximately 98% of their DNA with humans, but the similarities go far beyond genetics. Their brains are structured remarkably like ours, with neural pathways that enable complex thought processes, emotional responses, and social behaviors that mirror our own in surprising ways. In the wild, chimpanzees display problem-solving abilities that rival those of young human children. At Gombe National Park, researchers have documented over 200 different tool uses among local chimpanzee populations. They fashion fishing rods from grass stems to catch termites, craft spears for hunting smaller primates, and use leaves as makeshift cups to drink water. Each community has its own unique tool traditions, essentially creating distinct cultural practices that are passed down through generations. But perhaps even more remarkable than their technical abilities is their emotional intelligence. In 2010, at the Chimfunshi Wildlife Orphanage in Zambia, researchers witnessed something extraordinary. When an elderly female named Dorothy passed away, the entire community gathered in silence around her body. For over 20 minutes, they stood in what could only be described as a funeral ceremony, gently touching her and comforting one another. This display of grief and empathy challenges our assumptions about the depth of animal emotions. The social dynamics within chimpanzee communities reveal sophisticated political maneuvering that would put many human organizations to shame. Alpha males maintain their position not just through physical strength, but through coalition building and strategic alliances. They remember past favors and slights, sometimes waiting months or years to repay both kindnesses and grievances. This long-term social memory and planning ability demonstrates a level of cognitive sophistication that was once considered uniquely human. In controlled studies, chimpanzees have consistently demonstrated remarkable cognitive abilities. They can recognize themselves in mirrors, a trait shared by only a handful of species, suggesting a level of self-awareness that most animals lack. They can play strategic games, often outperforming human children in tasks requiring immediate pattern recognition and memory. Take the case of Ayumu, a young chimpanzee at the Primate Research Institute in Japan, who repeatedly outperformed human adults in a memory test where numbers flashed briefly on a screen, while humans struggled to recall the positions of more than 5 numbers. Ayumu could consistently remember the locations of 9 digits shown for just a fraction of a second. This extraordinary working memory challenges our assumptions about human cognitive superiority. The ability of chimpanzees to experience empathy and provide emotional support to others is particularly touching. When a young chimpanzee loses their mother, other community members often step in to adopt and care for the orphan. These adoptive relationships can last for years, with older chimps sharing food, providing protection, and offering emotional comfort to their adopted young. In laboratory settings, chimpanzees have demonstrated an understanding of fairness and reciprocity. In one famous experiment, chimps would refuse to participate in tasks where they received inferior rewards compared to their partners, showing an innate sense of justice that parallels human concepts of fair play. This requires not only an understanding of cause and effect, but also the ability to predict and manipulate the behavior of others, a form of mental time travel and perspective-taking that was long thought to be uniquely human. Chimpanzees have been observed deliberately misleading others to gain advantages, such as hiding food or giving false alarm calls to distract competitors. Their capacity for deception provides another window into their sophisticated minds. As we continue to study these remarkable primates, the line between human and chimpanzee intelligence becomes increasingly blurred. While they may not build cities or write poetry, chimpanzee complexity, social intelligence, and problem-solving abilities reveal minds that are sophisticated, adaptable, and remarkably similar to our own. Understanding chimpanzee intelligence not only helps us appreciate these extraordinary creatures, but also provides insights into our own evolutionary history. As we face growing challenges in protecting wild chimpanzee populations and their habitats, recognizing their cognitive sophistication becomes increasingly important. These aren't just animals. They are thinking, feeling beings with rich mental lives that deserve our respect, protection, and admiration. The next time you look into the eyes of a chimpanzee, remember, you're not just seeing a distant cousin on the evolutionary tree. You're witnessing a highly intelligent mind at work, one that shares many of the cognitive tools that we once thought made us unique in the animal kingdom. In their tool use, their social bonds, their problem-solving abilities, and their emotional lives, chimpanzees remind us that human intelligence may be remarkable, but it's not as unique as we once believed.